Let's talk about a fascinating question. Would the iconic stars of Hollywood's golden age shine as brightly in today's entertainment landscape? Picture Greta Garbo, with her mysterious allure trying to navigate the world of Instagram stories. Or imagine Marlene Dietrich facing the pressure of constant Twitter updates. Back then, these stars were carefully crafted diamonds, polished and protected by powerful studio systems like MGM. The studios controlled everything: their image, their roles, even their personal lives. They were presented to the public as perfect, almost mythical beings, only seen on the silver screen or in carefully orchestrated public appearances. But today, the game has completely changed. Modern celebrities can't hide behind the velvet curtain of mystery anymore. They're expected to be everywhere all the time. Think about it. Can you imagine Greta Garbo, famous for saying "I want to be alone," dealing with fans demanding daily TikTok updates? The mystique that made these stars so captivating would be nearly impossible to maintain in our age of 24/7 connectivity. And let's talk about versatility. Back then, studios often typecast their stars: the femme fatale, the girl next door, the tragic heroine. But modern actors? They need to be chameleons. One day they're in a superhero blockbuster. The next they're in an intimate indie drama. Then they're starring in a streaming series. Would these golden age icons succeed today? Absolutely. Their raw talent and charisma were undeniable, but they'd have to adapt to a whole new playbook. Instead of having studios shape their every move, they'd need to be their own brand managers. Instead of maintaining distance from their audience, they'd need to master the art of authentic connection. The glamour of old Hollywood might be gone, but perhaps there's something more interesting in its place: the ability for stars to tell their own stories, in their own ways, directly to their audiences. Maybe that's a different kind of magic altogether. Let's see how these stars would fare today. Imagine for a moment the legendary Greta Garbo walking down today's red carpet. Not a single Instagram post, no Twitter updates, just that enigmatic smile that captured hearts nearly a century ago. In our age of oversharing and constant connection, she'd be an anomaly. And that's exactly what would make her extraordinary. Picture this: a young Swedish model catches the eye of a casting director through a handful of striking photographs. No TikTok dances, no viral moments, just pure, undeniable presence. That's how Garbo would begin her journey today, much like she did in the 1920s. But here's where it gets interesting. While other stars would be documenting every moment of their rise to fame, Garbo would remain silent, unreachable, a ghost in the Hollywood machine. The press would go wild. Why won't she speak? What's she hiding? Every rare appearance would make headlines. Her silence would spark endless speculation, think pieces, and viral theories. But unlike today's manufactured mystery, Garbo's would be genuine. A true introvert in an extrovert's profession. In our current film landscape, where actors are expected to be personalities as much as performers, Garbo would be a revelation. Imagine her in a Christopher Nolan psychological thriller, or perhaps a haunting period drama. No press tours, no late-night show appearances, just raw, powerful performances that speak for themselves. Her work would be her only statement to the world. Studios would beg for her to join their franchises, but she'd likely choose roles with substance over spectacle. Think Cate Blanchett meets Kristen Stewart's selective approach, but with an even more impenetrable personal barrier. The less she'd reveal, the more audiences would crave her presence. In today's world of carefully curated public images and constant digital noise, Garbo's genuine desire for privacy would feel almost revolutionary. She wouldn't be playing hard to get. She'd be truly, authentically distant, making her rare appearances on screen all the more magnetic. They say absence makes the heart grow fonder, and in Garbo's case it would make her an icon for a new generation. Perhaps that's exactly what our celebrity-saturated culture needs. Someone who reminds us that true stardom isn't about being everywhere, but about being unforgettable when you do appear. Picture this. It's 2025 and a stunning young woman from a small town in North Carolina uploads a casual photo to Instagram. Within hours it goes viral. That's how Ava Gardner's story might begin today, but trust me, her legacy would be so much more than just another pretty face on social media. The original Ava Gardner, discovered through a simple portrait in her brother-in-law's photography studio, possessed something that transcends eras. That rare combination of raw magnetism and authentic charm that no filter could ever replicate. In today's world, she wouldn't need MGM's carefully crafted star-making machine. Instead, imagine her navigating the modern entertainment landscape, where every relationship, every career move, every late-night outing would be captured by TMZ cameras and dissected on social media. But here's the thing. Ava wouldn't just survive in our era, she'd absolutely own it. Think about it. Her famous "I'm sorry, but I just don't give a damn" attitude. That's exactly what people crave today. Authenticity. She'd be the actress who calls out industry BS on Twitter, who speaks candidly about mental health and relationships, who refuses to be anything but herself. Career-wise, forget the limitations of old Hollywood. Today's Ava would be crushing it in sophisticated HBO dramas, stealing scenes in indie films that showcase her depth, and yes, probably turning down superhero movies unless they offered her a villain role with real meat to it. Can't you just see her in a Mayor of Easttown type series, bringing that same raw emotional power she showed in The Night of the Iguana? And let's talk fashion and influence. In an age where celebrity and style are inseparable, Ava's natural glamour would make her a Fashion Week front-row fixture. But knowing her, she'd probably show up in jeans one day just to mess with everyone's expectations. She'd be the face of luxury brands while using her platform to support causes she believes in. The truth is, Ava Gardner's appeal was never just about her legendary beauty, it was about her spirit, her authenticity, her refusal to play by anyone else's rules. In today's world, where we're all desperate for something real in a sea of carefully curated content, she wouldn't just be a star. She'd be a revolution in human form, reminding us all that true star power isn't about perfection, it's about being unapologetically yourself. In our social media-obsessed world, imagine if Lana Turner, the legendary Hollywood star, was just starting her career today. A 16-year-old girl, sitting at a drugstore counter sipping on a milkshake. But instead of being spotted by a Hollywood publisher, someone captures her striking beauty on their iPhone, and the video goes viral on TikTok overnight. That's how Lana's story would probably begin in 2025. The classic tale of being discovered at Schwab's Pharmacy would spread like wildfire across Instagram and Twitter, with millions of views and countless reaction videos. Her pin-up girl looks and magnetic presence would make her an instant social media sensation, racking up followers faster than you can say Hollywood dreams. While the old Hollywood system could carefully craft and control a star's image, today's digital age would expose every aspect of Lana's life. Those tumultuous relationships, the dramatic personal struggles, they wouldn't just be whispered about in gossip columns. They'd be trending topics, dissected in real time by millions of online commentators, complete with viral memes and endless TikTok hot takes. Think about it. Every red carpet appearance would be live-streamed. Every personal crisis would spark Twitter threads, and her fashion choices would launch countless Instagram-style guides. The pressure would be immense, constant, and unrelenting, so different from the more controlled exposure of her actual era. Career-wise, modern Lana would likely navigate a very different path. While she might still land roles in major films, she'd probably find herself thriving in prestigious streaming series, perhaps playing complex, morally ambiguous characters in shows for Netflix or HBO. She might even produce her own content, sharing behind-the-scenes glimpses of her life on YouTube, maintaining that direct connection with fans that today's celebrities need to survive. The same glamour and drama that defined Lana Turner's life would still captivate audiences today, but in a completely different way. Her story reminds us how the nature of fame has evolved, from the carefully manufactured stardom of old Hollywood to today's raw, unfiltered, and always online celebrity culture. Some things never change, but the way we experience them certainly does. Imagine Hedy Lamarr, the stunning Austrian-American actress and inventor, stepping into our modern world. What would her journey look like in 2025? For it's a fascinating thought experiment that tells us as much about how far we've come as it does about this remarkable woman. Picture this. A brilliant young woman arrives in Hollywood, armed not just with mesmerizing beauty, but with a mind that rivals the greatest inventors of our time. In today's world, she wouldn't have to hide her intellectual pursuits or downplay her scientific genius to maintain her glamorous image. Social media would be buzzing with headlines like "Hollywood's Beautiful Mind" or "The Actress Who's Revolutionizing Technology." But let's be real. Some things haven't changed as much as we'd like to think. Hollywood can still be brutally ageist, especially toward women. Just like in her era, Lamar would probably face the familiar pressure to maintain her youthful appearance, with gossip sites scrutinizing every perceived flaw or change. However, here's where her story would take a different turn. Instead of her groundbreaking frequency-hopping invention being ignored for decades, today's tech community would likely embrace her innovations immediately. Can't you just see her giving TED Talks about wireless technology? She'd probably be sitting on panels with Elon Musk and other tech visionaries, challenging their perspectives with her unique combination of artistic and scientific insight. Her acting career might not span decades, but it wouldn't need to. She'd likely transition into producing, directing, or even founding her own tech company. Think about it. A female founder who understands both the entertainment industry and cutting-edge technology. Silicon Valley would be falling over itself to invest. Netflix or Amazon Prime would already be fighting over the rights to her biopic. And this time around, she'd be celebrated not just for her beauty, but as a role model for young women everywhere who dare to defy expectations and categories. She'd be trending on Instagram, not just for her red carpet looks, but for her latest patent filing or her keynote speech at MIT. In today's world, Hedy Lamarr wouldn't have to choose between being beautiful and being brilliant. She'd be living proof that a woman can be both a glamorous entertainer and a serious innovator. And maybe, just maybe, that's the biggest change of all, the freedom to be fully unapologetically herself. Marlene Dietrich, walking down today's red carpet, those iconic cheekbones, that defiant gaze, and that signature androgynous style that was decades ahead of its time. But here's the thing, if Dietrich were here in 2025, she wouldn't just be turning heads, she'd be breaking the internet. You see, back in the 1930s and 40s, Dietrich was already pushing boundaries that some people are still trying to cross today. She wore men's suits when women were expected to stick to dresses, and she kissed women on screen when that was absolutely scandalous. Today, she'd be celebrated for exactly what she was once criticized for. Imagine Dietrich dropping a surprise album on Spotify, her deep, sultry voice remixed with modern beats, while her Instagram feed becomes a masterclass in gender-fluid fashion. One day she's strutting in a tailored suit at the Met Gala. The next she's directing a groundbreaking film that challenges our perceptions of identity. But Dietrich wasn't just about the glamour. During World War II, she literally put her life on the line, performing for Allied troops near the front lines. In 2025, she'd be using that same courage to stand up for what's right. Picture her leading climate change protests, speaking at the UN, and using her TikTok platform with millions of followers to rally support for refugee rights. Hollywood would be different too. Instead of being typecast as the mysterious foreign beauty, she'd be landing complex roles that showcase her range. Think powerful CEO in a drama series, a morally ambiguous anti-hero in a streaming blockbuster, or perhaps even playing herself in a boundary-pushing biopic. And let's talk about her influence on fashion. Those suits she made famous, they'd be part of her own sustainable gender-neutral clothing line, probably in collaboration with a major fashion house. Every red carpet appearance would become a viral moment, not just for what she's wearing, but for what she represents. The truth is, Dietrich was never just an actress or a singer. She was a revolution in human form. In 2025, she wouldn't need to apologize for being ahead of her time because finally, time would have caught up with her. She'd be exactly what we need right now. An icon who reminds us that authenticity isn't just about being yourself. It's about being yourself so boldly that you make it easier for others to do the same. Would Joan Crawford, the legendary Hollywood star, make it big in today's entertainment landscape? It's a fascinating question that takes us deep into how Hollywood has evolved and what it truly means to be a star. Let's be honest, Crawford might face some serious challenges in 2025. Her acting style, while groundbreaking for her time, might come across as a bit too theatrical for today's audiences, who crave naturalistic performances. Think about it. We've moved from the grand gestures of old Hollywood to the subtle nuances of modern method acting. Would Crawford's dramatic flair connect with viewers who grew up watching performers like Meryl Streep or Cate Blanchett? Then there's the elephant in the room, Mommy Dearest. The controversial memoir by her daughter Christina, later turned into a film, painted Crawford as an abusive mother. In today's cancel culture, where personal behavior is scrutinized more than ever, This kind of baggage would be hard to shake off. But here's where it gets interesting. I actually think Crawford would not just survive but potentially thrive in our modern entertainment world. Why? Because she was basically doing influencer marketing before it even existed. This woman understood personal branding like nobody's business. She carefully crafted her image, managed her public appearances, and knew exactly how to keep people talking. Sound familiar? That's basically the playbook for modern celebrity. Let's talk about her style game. Those signature shoulder pads, that red lipstick. Crawford wasn't just following trends, she was creating them. In an era of Instagram and TikTok, where fashion and personal style reign supreme, she'd be an absolute sensation. She'd probably have millions of followers hanging on her every outfit change and makeup tutorial. What makes Crawford particularly relevant for today is her complexity. We're living in an age where audiences crave authenticity and dimensional characters, both on and off screen. Crawford was never just one thing. She was glamorous yet tough, ambitious yet vulnerable, a star yet an outsider. This kind of layered persona would be pure gold in today's entertainment industry. The truth is, Joan Crawford wasn't just a movie star. She was a master of reinvention who understood that staying relevant meant evolving with the times. And in today's fast-paced, image-driven world, that might be her greatest strength of all. She wouldn't just be a star. She'd be a whole new kind of celebrity for a whole new era. Imagine Judy Garland, that incredible force of nature from Hollywood's golden age, stepping into today's spotlight. What would become of the girl who gave us Somewhere Over the Rainbow? Let's take a moment to picture it. A young Judy, blessed with that same earth-shattering voice and magnetic presence, but in our modern entertainment landscape. She'd probably go viral on TikTok first, right? A teenage girl with pipes that could shake buildings. She'd be an overnight sensation. But here's where things get interesting. Unlike the 1930s, when MGM could keep their brutal treatment of young stars under wraps, today's social media and watchdog culture would expose everything. Those diet pills they forced on her, the 18-hour workdays, the emotional abuse, it would trigger trending hashtags and public outrage within hours. Can you imagine the headlines? Studio executives force 14-year-old star to survive on chicken soup and cigarettes. The thing is, in 2024, we're finally having these conversations about mental health, body image, and the treatment of young performers. Judy wouldn't have to suffer in silence. Her talent would still shine, though, maybe even brighter. Picture her on Broadway, bringing down the house night after night. Or imagine her in complex dramatic roles, picking up Oscars not just for musicals, but for powerful dramatic performances. Her vulnerability and emotional depth would resonate perfectly with today's audiences, who crave authenticity. The struggles she faced, her battles with addiction and mental health, wouldn't be whispered about in gossip columns. Instead, they'd be part of a larger conversation about the pressures of fame and the importance of support systems. Maybe, just maybe, in today's world, Judy Garland would not only be a superstar, but also a survivor who got the help she deserved. This remarkable woman, who gave so much to entertainment history, might have written a very different story in our era. One where her talent still dazzled us, but where her pain didn't have to be the price of fame. If you found this perspective interesting, please hit that like button and follow for more deep dives into how entertainment history might look through a modern lens.